out to everybody who's went back to school already. Good morning to you all. Make sure y'all like the live stream as y'all come in here this morning. Shout out to my sponsor, paidwear.com. Sharon Hammond. Make sure y'all go support that. I'm gonna put the information in the description of this video. Good morning, though. We got some things to talk about. He said it's a crazy ass different era, man. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I see y'all upset. Good morning. He better get that money. Money don't mean everything, man. I hate when I hear people say that. Some of y'all logic go clean out the window when y'all hear money. Don't make no sense. I understand desperation. I think desperation could be controlled. It's like an emotion. But it shouldn't supersede logic. What up? Hit the like button as y'all come in here. Says a lot about his legacy, but he from Baltimore, man. He probably come from, extreme poverty or something like that, because he's not really considering his legacy. I mean, he is undefeated. He didn't take an official loss yet. The Roach situation, that was a draw, so that wasn't an official loss on his record. So he still got a pretty flawless record, but for the sake of, competing and shit, like, what is all of the training and shit for? For the sake of competing, like, why wouldn't you fight Roach again? We're going to get into that in a minute. That's why they hate Turkey, because he want legacy fights only. Waste of time to watch the fight. Did anybody in here watch the Mike Tyson joint? Oh, my God. That was like... Ryan Garcia tweeted yesterday that the pro boxing world is turning into WWE. I agree. It's... People had so much to say yesterday. I posted it on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on @IamGullyTV. He said he's scared of roaches, Gully. It's obvious. It's obvious. I'm gonna pull up this. Oh my goodness. Listen to this shit here. Listen to how they selling this fight. Jake Paul breaks silence on Gervonta Davis matchup reports. Jake Paul was reported to be facing Gervonta Tank Davis by multiple outlets, including Newsweek, Sports. Now the problem child has broken his silence. Gervonta, who has been disrespecting my name for too long. His nickname might be Tank, but I'm a FPV drone, and I'm about to disable Tiny Boy. Yes, he's one of the top pound-for-pound boxers in the world, but my motto is anyone, anytime, any place, against all odds, and I like my odds. First, I am going to kill David, then I'm going to slaughter Goliath. This is Jake Paul's tweet. This is crazy. Listen to this shit. Comedy. Gervonta is an angry little elf who has been disrespecting my name for too long. Hold on. He might be a tank, but I'm an FPV drone, and I'm about to disable his little ass. And you are all going to watch me do it. Breaking viewership numbers again. Atlanta, Friday, November 14th, the worst night of Gervonta's career. live on Netflix. Most Valuable Promotions co-founder Nakisa Bedarian also commented on the fight, stating, Jake Paul and Tank Davis have redefined the professional combat sports landscape as the top fighters amongst Generation Z and Generation Alpha audience, said Most Valuable Promotions co-founder. Now they will collide to determine the true face of boxing's next generation. When Jake called out Tank in August of 2021, everyone laughed and said he would get killed. Since then, Tank has called Jake a clown and easy work. Where 40 years later, here we are, no more call-outs and no more name-calling. Jake the Disruptor versus Tank the Destroyer for the face of boxing, and live from the heart of South Atlanta. This will be the second time that Paul and his Most Valuable Promotions will showcase a fight on Netflix. The first time they did so, it was against Mike Tyson. Let me read the tail of the tape to y'all. Jake Paul is 6'1", 199 pounds. He got a 6'4" wingspan. Tank Davis is 5'5", 133 pounds. He got a 5'7" wingspan. This don't make any sense at all. I believe this all became of because Tank obviously didn't want to get in the ring with Lamont Roach again. If you want to keep it real, if you watch the fight with Lamont Roach, they might have stole one from him. Towards the later rounds, Roach was getting busy, but in the ninth, Tank took a knee after a apparent jab. I looked at it a couple of times. It didn't look like it was like no destructive jab that will put him down, but he took a knee and he started talking about grease from his hair getting in his eyes or some shit. Me personally, I think it was the pressure. Tank hadn't really been in that type of pressure before. So, Lamont Roach is going to end up fighting Shakur Stevenson. That's what we get. I guess people might want to be entertained by that, but they fucking up boxing. They making it into a joke. All because of money or, you know, lack of ambition. Ryan Garcia got on Twitter last night. Everybody was on Twitter last night. Lamont Roach was on Twitter last night. Lamont Roach said, I told y'all, and he put ducks all over the post. Boxer Ryan Garcia sounded off. Ryan Garcia is a racist, by the way. I gotta add that. Boxer Ryan Garcia sounded off upon learning Jake Paul will fight Gervonta Davis on November 14th. Boxing is officially the WWE, he wrote. The hard-hitting boxer was just getting started. This just proves that the new blueprint is to get popular, be a decent fighter, pick fights to win that gives you an advantage, and continue to rack up money. Integrity of the sport is getting ruined every day. If you are an up-and-coming fighter, I just focus on strictly building your name. I respect what Garcia is saying, but they did catch him taking performance-enhancing drugs. I forget who it was against. He talking about the integrity of the sport. The most striking part of the matchup between Jake Paul and Davis is the size disparity. Paul is 6'1", last fought at 200 pounds. Tank is 5'5", he last fought at 135 pounds. The fight will be carried by Netflix and held at State Farm Arena. It's unclear what bookmakers would consider posting, if bookmakers would consider posting odds in a fight. That most likely will be an exhibition, but Garcia was happy to offer his guidance. By the way, if the fight does happen, I bet on the heavyweight. It's worth nothing that Garcia, who is 5'9" and last fought at 147 pounds, has called out Paul in hopes of fighting and social media influence. So, here we go. Garcia mad because Tank got the fight. Yo, he talk about some, so he's gonna have to come through me sooner or later. I know he doesn't want to though, because I'm going to be firing on him. He know I got them punches on me. This is just, oh my goodness. I don't know what to fucking say. But one of the biggest stories online yesterday, why everybody want to fight Jake Paul. He's not a real fighter. He put together these cards, man. Even the undercards that precede him, they be legitimate fights. They had, I believe her name was Amanda Serrano. She fought that chick, and they robbed her, but she got cut. She was bleeding like a motherfucker. But the undercards be respectable. Every undercard that I seen from his promotions, they be legit fights. He the only one that come along in the main event and turn the shit into a mockery. Boxing is a joke. They really want to make Paul a star. Tank is on his way out of boxing, Gully. As a culture, we don't care about nothing real anymore. This is why Haney is number one, because he wants to fight the best each time. This is a joke. I don't even know how boxing can recover from some shit like this, because it's gonna, if it's all about money, if it's all about money and it ain't about competing, it's gonna take away a lot of people's intentions and shit like that. This don't make no sense. I don't know what to think, man. And Tank is a champion, by the way. He's a WBA lightweight champion still. Jake Paul just used his popularity. I watched a documentary on him and his brother. They some hustling little motherfuckers, man. I mean, they from Cleveland, Ohio. They started out making like TikTok videos and shit like that. And he's built something very impressive, but boxing is a competitive sport, pardon me. And I'm totally against shit like this. He should be fighting Lamont Roach. I don't think this Jake Paul Gervonta Davis fight will outsell a rematch between Tank and Roach. They were supposed to fight. This don't make any goddamn sense. So he gonna end up fighting Shakur. Pull up something right quick. This is crazy. Make sure y'all like the video as y'all come in here.
Even decades ago, you might still qualify.
Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, and Lamont Roach are among the top lightweights in the world at this moment. Shakur Stevenson holds the WBC title and recently defended his strap against William Zepeda. Davis is the WBA holder, as I just mentioned, and was set to have a rematch with Roach in August, following their first controversial fight in March. However, Roach recently dropped a damning update on the rematch following Tank Davis' recent legal troubles. Oh, Tank got in some trouble too. He kind of stayed in some trouble. I think he got a domestic situation. Roach showed in his last fight against Davis that he belongs atop the lightweight divisions. Stevenson has now chimed in following the Davis versus Roach cancellation. So Lamont Roach might end up fighting Shakur. Roach thinks him against Stevenson is the best fight for the fans at the moment. He also claimed that they have a verbal agreement to fight down the line, saying, I think aside from the rematch, the best fight for me and the best fight for the division is me versus Shakur Stevenson. We got some people that's taking this shit seriously, at least. To be pretty honest, he said, I'll take the fight between me and him. We definitely sat down. We were like, we'll do it for sure. He is a competitor. Like, he wants to show that he's the best. He don't have any picks for real. We will fight each other. So that's a fight that we got to look forward to. Shakur Stevenson versus Lamont Roach. I wasn't down with Lamar Roach until he fought Tank. I didn't know nothing about him, but apparently that they grew up fighting each other. These new boxers don't like competition and don't want to be great. True fans are gonna stop watching. The UFC is taking over. Somebody just bought the UFC for some billions. Dana White just cashed that shit in. Jake Paul showed you don't need them promoters. He's self-promoting. How is Paul getting these high-profile fights? He's throwing the bag around, man. He's promoting these fights. The last one with Mike Tyson, that put him through the roof. He gave Mike Tyson a decent payday, but his payday was 5, 6 times bigger than Mike. Not to mention that he's negotiating all of the pay-per-view and what goes down at the gate. So he's wearing two hats. He's fighting and he's a promoter. Tank's mental ain't right. These Paul fights are rigged. Now, who the fuck do you expect to win between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis? Jake Paul is twice his size. He just fought Mike Tyson. He looked much bigger than Mike Tyson, and he got power. I don't understand, like, Tank fucking up bad. Did you see the fight between him and Mike Tyson? What you think about that fight? I thought from early on that Mike Tyson, he only showed aggression in like the first round. He only showed aggression in the first round. After that, he was biting his gloves. I don't know what the fuck that was about. It ended up coming out afterwards that there was a clause in the contract that Mike Tyson couldn't really hit Jake Paul. That was in the contract. Later on down the line in the fight, I think it went 8 rounds or some shit, maybe 9 rounds, 8 rounds, something like that. Mike Tyson was tired as a motherfucker. I hated to see that Jake Paul could have knocked Mike Tyson out later on in the fight because Mike Tyson wasn't in no shape. He showed it. He was tired as hell. This was going to be the biggest fight Tank will get, but we only want to see Shakur versus Tank, Haney versus Shakur, or Tank versus Haney. ESPN Plus bought the rights to UFC. Yeah, he sold that shit to them for some billions. $8 billion they paid. Whoo! Tank and Roach are brothers. That's why Tank put them on. They not brothers. They grew up fight. They fought each other a couple times in the amateurs. Tank's trainer, or maybe Tank's father, might probably. I think he used to work with Roach when Roach was younger. Them niggas not brothers. Roach was robbed by Tank. Don't you know that he wanted to win that shit? There's no way that they friends. Nobody knew who Roach was before Tank put him on. I wasn't hip to him, but he showed that he's definitely he official. That night showed a lot about him. He's relentless. Boxing fans want to see a fight. The people want to see a show. I don't know what type of entertainment value that people are going to extract from a fight between a professional and an exhibitionist. I think out of all of these fights Jake Paul has been involved in, he only fought, I believe, one boxer. I ain't counting Mike Tyson. It was somebody else, I believe, he fought. Everybody else was like UFC fighters and fucking Nate Robinson and shit like that. Like, this is crazy as fuck. Makes no sense. Ghost Dog, thank you. This is one of my sponsors, paidwear.com. Make sure y'all go check out the website. Make sure you go get the trifecta. This is for all of the gentlemen who are looking for an edge. You're looking for a kick. You lacking energy day to day. You lacking energy in the gym. You lacking potency in the bedroom. That's because of circulation. This improves testosterone production. This enhances everything in your body, especially circulation. Circulation is the #1 component involved in having an erection. So yeah, this enhances stamina, circulation, and most importantly, libido. Your lady will thank you for it. Trifecta, therealdribble.com. 100% natural. These is the 5 active ingredients. Y'all can go screenshot that. Y'all can go look them up. Look at the potency associated with them ingredients. That's all that's in there. Just them 5. I'm with Crawford. Y'all asked me that before. Y'all like the video, man. It's almost 300 people here this morning. It does make sense. He said, what's in it? Tongkat Ali, Maca Black, Ashwagandha, prescribed by Dr. Sabi. Y'all know what that's about. Y'all know what it do. Hawthorn berry and horny goat weed. I take it every day, 2 capsules a day. Gervonta learned from Floyd not to play when the bag appears. We've seen Floyd in combat, though. If you look at Floyd's resume, he did fight some official guys. He did. He fought Zab Judah. He fought others. I think he fought Diego. Floyd got 50-something, over 50-something, maybe damn near 60 fights on his jacket. A lot of them early fights, especially before he damaged his hand, he was in some, he fought some combatants. Tank, everybody that we seen Tank fight, if you want to keep it real, was somebody that he could unload that big weapon. Somebody that he could unload that knockout punch on. And we seen that when he got in there with somebody who wasn't just going to accept that and was going to fight him back like Lamont Roach, he don't want no parts of it. He don't. Floyd was over 40 and done when he started doing exhibitions. Floyd fought 20 plus champs and he took rematches. There's no comparison. Exactly. He said, does it help with inflammation? It helps with circulation. This isn't medicine. You need medicine to to combat inflammation. This isn't medicine. This is herbs. Baltimore all day, Tank trying to get the bag. So y'all co-sign this malarkey? Y'all co-sign this fuckery? I don't. It's pathetic. Boxing used to be a really, really big deal in the 80s and the early 90s. Shout out to everybody. I guess we got the lean on Terrence Crawford and guys like that, but this lightweight division, when you got one of the stars making a move like this, it just make this shit look laughable. It make everybody else look like a joke. I don't know why he wouldn't fight Roach. Well, I do know why he don't want to fight Roach. It's because he gonna fight him back. I don't co-sign this nonsense. I'm from Baltimore. Shout out to B-More. Tank is a Baltimore resident. I mean, I don't think they announced how much money that he's making for this fight against Jake Paul. It don't matter, in my opinion. I mean, he's already very well off. He already very, very much well off, so it really don't matter. Lamont Roach had a lot to say on Twitter yesterday. Lamont Roach made big waves early this year when he went to a surprising draw with a Gervonta Tank Davis in a fight many thought Roach deserved to win. The long-discussed rematch doesn't look like it's going to happen, as though Davis is reportedly going to face Jake Paul in November exhibition bout. Roach is 25-1, 10 KOs. He didn't waste any time calling out Davis for what he sees as a blatant duck of the rematch. He went to Twitter at 12:05 p.m., told y'all, and he put ducks all over it. It's been retweeted 17,000 times. Roach, 30 years old, may not be waiting too long for a big opportunity, though. He says a fight with Shakur Stevenson is now on his mind. Stevenson said he's totally open to making it happen. Stevenson, 24-0, 11 KOs, would be defending his WBC title if the sanctioning body approves of the matchup, which should easily be enough to get done. It may require Roach to officially vacate his WBA 130-pound title, which would allow the WBC to rank him at 135. But that also just might not come into play because of this other fight. The 28-year-old Stevenson references is one where he would move up to 140 to challenge Teofimo Lopez, which Stevenson doesn't seem at all that confident will happen. There's no doubt that Teofimo versus Shakur would be a bigger money fight and bigger event than Shakur versus Roach, but the latter would be a fine consolation for Stevenson and for his fans. And a deserved shot for Roach, who really looks like he's coming to his own at this point in his career. Everything that I read, it don't even matter because he's not going to fight him. So he can make the Roach fight happen anytime. You got a point. Are you implying he going to go cash in with Jake Paul and then fight Roach? I don't think he's ever going to fight Roach. The anticipation was at an all-time high. For them to fight within maybe like 6 months after the first fight in March, I don't think it's ever gonna fight. I think he don't want no parts of homeboy. Roach put up a fight, man. Tank ain't never been in that type of situation. I was really looking forward to the rematch. When I saw the Jake Paul fight, I thought it was a joke, seriously. Roach exposed him. He did. Tank is one of them fights who he kind of rely on a one-hitter quitter. He's not really... There's a difference between a boxer and a knockout artist and shit. Yeah. Tank versus Roach would have been an excellent rivalry for pugilism. Tank don't want to fight nobody that can actually box. Low nose boxing, you fucked that up. I need you to make that comment again. I want to read that. I thought he said he was retiring. Too young to retire. I know y'all didn't buy that. What else he gonna do to make money? These guys got a very, very expensive lifestyle. You know what happens after the fights? New foreign car, condo, jewelry, designer clothes, travel. You got to pay the staff. Got to pay the trainers, the promoters get some money, and then you got to pay taxes. Before you know it, they got to get back in the ring. Yeah. Wilder was more of a one-hitter quitter. He had power with no skill. He got exposed by the big white boy. I forget his name. What's the big white boy who beat up on him, had his ear bleeding? Looked like a big gargoyle. What's his name? He put dude out of boxing. I don't think Wilder fought again. Fury. Tyson Fury. That sounds like he get busy. That sound like a barbarian name. Tyson Fury. Damn. Tank is about to secure his biggest payday ever by far. No way he can pass on that. I'm glad that we had this discussion because you making me look at it from a different angle now. This is true. He can go ahead and get this money fighting Jake Paul. It's an exhibition. Muhammad Ali did exhibitions. He did. He did. I think he fought football players, WWF guys. He did exhibitions, right? So let's take the stigma off the exhibition thing. And he can fight Roach afterwards. I think I don't think he want no parts of him. Keep it real. Tank is about to sign to Jake Paul Promotions. I don't know what's up with Tank. I interviewed his trainer on his channel. Make sure you go check that out, Coach Calvin Davis. It's on his channel. They had some discrepancy. I don't think he with Coach Calvin anymore. He fell out with Floyd. The thing about being with people like Calvin Davis and probably even Floyd was the mentorship aspect of it. Once you fall into the hands of strangers and shit like that, you might not be getting the best advice and direction. So nobody knows where Tank's head is, man. He come from Baltimore. He probably come from struggle. He in position to get a lot of money. I can't even knock him for fighting this dude. It's just it's making the sport look bad. Like, how can he get these in the prime? In their prime, how can he get these dudes to do these exhibitions and shit? Like, what if he get hurt? What if he get dropped? They is throwing punches at each other. Teofimo Lopez called Tank a monkey, and Tank still chose to avoid that smoke. Tank has the bully mentality. Yeah, it's over for him. Whenever you step out of home base, it's usually a sign. I agree. I thought that the thing with Calvin Davis was a big mistake. I did. You think Holyfield should be stripped from the belts he won because of steroid use? I don't think it's been proved. I know about the allegations. I know about the doctor. I still don't think it's been proved. I will say this. When he was boxing, he had one of the best physiques in boxing ever. He was always very muscular. He was ripped up. I used to think he looked like that fighting heavyweights because he was actually a cruiserweight. But science don't lie. It don't. Conor McGregor started this, and he is one of the official fights of Floyd's 50-0. I went to that fight. I was out there for that fight. I was in Vegas for that fight. Floyd was whooping dude ass. that was more. McGregor was coming for some combat. He was coming for some licks. So it turned into a little, they had their exchanges, and I seen a few cats get knocked out after the fight. Them Irish niggas is mad as hell. They thought that Conor was gonna whoop Floyd, and they was coming out of the MGM mouthing off. Niggas is punching them in their face walking out the MGM. Floyd was, Evander Holyfield was definitely jacked, yeah. The Paul brothers bringing in the bag and giving guys opportunities the boxing game not offering. The thing what happens when you got the Paul brothers involved is that casuals will buy the pay-per-view package, and casuals will tune in. Boxing fans, they gonna watch, but these guys bring a new fan base. They're YouTubers. They're streamers. They do a lot of shit outside of boxing to keep attention on them. Jake Paul, he definitely an entertainer, and I respect his dribble. I can't lie. He be in tip-top shape. He trained like a professional athlete, and this shit is a business, but I don't think he should be fighting no champions. Not while they got belts. That don't make sense. Whole lot of people, to include Manny Pacquiao, thought McGregor would beat Floyd. Lots of people did. I didn't see that. I hate what Jake Paul is doing to the sport, or rather what money has done to it. This is Floyd's fault. That's a great point. If Floyd gonna run around taking exhibitions, but he's retired. That's the difference between Floyd and the rest of these dudes. Floyd took these exhibitions post-retirement, right? A lot of these dudes, well, Tank is in his prime, so people will question his motive, but these younger dudes watching Floyd run around taking these exhibition fights, they don't count on your record if you lose. So why not go in there and basically have a sparring session? It depends on how you look at it, but if they seeing Floyd do this shit all the time, and he probably gonna do some more, this is what happens. This is what happens when you mix the internet, because that's what it is with professional boxing. Tank is done with boxing. The press conference is about to be nuts. It's almost 400 people here. I need y'all to like this video. Like the live stream, man. God damn. I couldn't wait to get on here and talk about this shit. I was offended when it was first announced. I'm like, this dude is in everything, man. And they're entertaining it. A lot of these new fighters have the mindset to where it's mandatory to be undefeated. The Hall of Fame is full of losses. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. The 80s and 90s were the best times for boxing. If Tank fight Paul and don't fight Roach, can he be stripped for his belts? This fight against Jake Paul, it's not a professional fight. It's an exhibition. It wouldn't count on his jacket or nothing like that. It don't affect his professional career. No way, no how. I just seen a post from Adrian Broner said that he's coming back and he's gonna take boxing serious this time. I think AB lost it. I think he lost it. I think he lost everything when he fought Madonna. Never was the same again. Tank is taking charge by bringing in more fans, so that way when he fights Shakur, he gets even more money. I always said Floyd was a prize fighter more than a champion. He is a champion, though. Broner is washed. Joke. Back in the day, everybody scrapped. Everybody. Yeah, it wasn't no ducking. Like, it used to be wars. We not going to see any more of that. We not. I seriously doubt it. They ain't wired like that no more. Supreme Clientele by Ghostface drops tonight. We looking forward to that. Make sure y'all support that. I seen the track list yesterday. I'm going to post it on Instagram when I get off of here. Make sure that y'all follow me at @IamGullyTV_. I'm disappointed in Tank. I lost respect for him. Think a lot of people, but mainly it don't really got nothing. This don't got nothing to do with Jake Paul for real. It's the fact that he didn't do his rematch with Lamont Roach, and that's what everybody wanted. He gonna have to address Roach. It will remain an asterisk on his record. That's what I'm talking about. It's all entertainment. Ain't no more doing it for the love. NFL, NBA, and boxing. You might be right. I don't think the NFL has become sugar-coated yet. Nah, they did shit in the NBA. They removed the hand checking and all that type of shit. The fucking commissioner talking about adding the four-point line and shit. That would turn it into some entertainment shit, but I think that he's stealing that shit from Ice Cube for real. We all still going to watch it. I wouldn't pay for it. Jake Paul versus Tank, I wouldn't pay for it. If I was somewhere and it was on TV or somebody had it playing, I would watch it, but it's nothing that I would support. I wouldn't even see myself cheering for Tank in that fight. I would just '80s, Hagler, Leonard, Hearns, Durant, them four fought each other. They was all wars. Yeah. The 4-point line of making a circus. I don't want that. Seems like Tank might be letting his woman problems get the best of him. Many a Kings was ruined by bad women or too many women, either or. Who takes an L this time, Tank or Jake? Because if Jake continues to take L's, his value will be worthless for prize fighting. If Tank loses, it will be the end of it. He's fighting a motherfucker who outweigh him by almost 100 pounds. He's probably like 5 inches taller than him. His reach is a foot longer than his. If there was ever somebody at a disadvantage, it's documented in the tail of the tape. What the fuck? But he don't care. Why is Jake even hyped this much? He built that hype machine himself, yo. He did. There was a time when we didn't even know who, just about 4 years ago, we didn't even know who Jake and Logan Paul was. Nobody knew who they was until his brother fought Floyd. That's when people became aware of who they was. Before that, they was on TikTok. I forget the other one. Twitch. They was on TikTok and Twitch. That's it. Nobody really knew who they was, though. It's the internet. The internet hyped them. Yeah, but they built the machine themselves. They did. They worked hard. They did shit outside of boxing. Like, they was doing stunts. They was setting shit on fire. They was doing regular white boy shit. They was doing that shit that what was that dude that Raekwon told him, you better apologize or I'm gonna punch you in your face. They was doing shit like him. What was that dude name? White dude used to be doing a bunch of crazy shit online. Think he pulled down his pants at the Old Dirty Bastard dedication, and Old Dirty Bastard mom was there or something like that. Steve-O. They was doing shit that Steve-O was doing. That's what they was known for. Yeah. He said exactly. Jake is supposed to be a joke. He trained like a professional though. You gotta respect it. I mean, he put it together right. He does train with legitimate boxing trainers. He be in the gym. He work out. He show up looking like a professional. So you gotta respect him in that regard. He said they was gonna punch Steve-O head off. Yeah, that was Raekwon, the Jackass show. Australia, what up? Tank don't want it with Roach. Good morning to everybody that's here. I appreciate y'all starting y'all morning with the real Gully TV. Make sure y'all go check out the live stream that I did before this. It was about the influencer that was killed over the weekend in New York City. She had a relationship with Tekashi 69. I see a lot of rumors being attached to that video. I just do my thing and be done with it. Before I get off of here, we have to talk about this murder case. Yo Gotti is in a lot of fucking trouble. Yo Gotti is in a lot of motherfucking trouble, man. I know that nigga can't sleep. I know he's sweating bullets day and night. I don't know how he's sitting in that pressure cooker like this with his name being thrown around like that. Is y'all watching this case? Is y'all tuning in? He said, Yo Gotti going to prison. His brother would already be charged if he was alive. They told everything. Did you see the girlfriend's testimony? That's why Angela Simmons got away from him. I believe that's why Black Youngster said, I got to get the fuck away from you too. Did you see the girlfriend's testimony? I think not Justin, the other dude. I think his name is Cornelius or some shit. Did you see his girlfriend testimony yesterday? God damn. She was spilling it. He said that testimony was nasty. I was still like, I'm like, damn, shorty, why is you doing this? Why is you doing this? Like, what you got, a retail theft charge or some shit? Like, what the fuck? Cornelius Smith. Yeah. His girlfriend, man, she was giving it up. I don't know if she was a scorned woman, but she was running it. She was running it. That was some of the most damaging testimony that I listened in on myself. I'm like, damn. And that shit was messy as a motherfucker, y'all. It was messy as a motherfucker. She made it like the proposition was put out there to the streets that they had money on dude head. Anybody could get it. Whoever, the first person to kill him is in position to collect this money. Justin was a dope fiend. He got up one day, didn't have no money, dope sick, called his man up, yo, we need to kill somebody today. And they wouldn't ride around the town looking for some wreck. I don't know whether they was looking for some robbery wreck, but they said it in the courts that they got up looking to kill somebody. Looking for some wreck of some type. They riding around, who do they see? The money bag. They identified him, of course, because he's driving his flashy ass car. Uh-oh, there he go. And they just did it, just like that. They didn't speak to Govan that morning. They didn't speak to him the day before it. And his defense is trying to say they did that shit on their own. But it was already a meeting that took place before and after the actual murder. Juk would have been down for this already. Absolutely. Black youngster going down too. Something tell me Gotti ain't got nothing to do with it. Listen to this. I seen this in under the comments of one of the videos. And this could be an extreme thought, but the way that it was put, I'm like, shit, that's possible. People were saying in the comments under the YouTube channel is called Crime and Law. People were saying in the comments, this shit sound like Gotti probably put his own brother down, because his brother would be the only link to him getting the case. His brother, like when that shit happened and they got them niggas, his brother was in touch with them niggas. His brother was the one that met with them, right? But if his brother get knocked down, that kind of like closes the door as far as the connection to Gotti and shit. Because they sit at the top of, the CMG record label. And they were saying, it's not far-fetched that to keep himself out of trouble, his brother had to go. We seen niggas do shit like this. We seen niggas do shit like this, for real. He said Gotti killed his brother, so they saying. He said, I heard that the day that he passed. The Crime and Law channel was dope. He said, I don't know, I do life behind my brother. Man, life is final. They killed Dolph just to get snitched on. Govan gonna tell too. CMG is done. I think it could turn federal at some point. It just seems like all of the components are there for them to. It's his name. When they mention your name, when they say your actual name, it's hard to refute it. They said his name too many times in that case. It was also said the police was paid off. Correct. What a coincidence that Gotti left a few minutes before. Juke was the loose ends. Gotti definitely got him up out of here. What you think about Andre Ward versus Joshua? I ain't in tune. Gotti was hating on Dolph because he became a boss instead of being Gotti little man. The way that even the girl that got on the stand yesterday, she said that was the case, that they was mad that he didn't sign with them, or he didn't join their movement instead of launching his own. The girl said it flat out. I wonder what that girl incentive was for telling like that. I always found it strange. No shots were fired back at Juke's shooting scene. Memphis been talking. Gotti left early. Check the weather that day. Gotti is whole little man. He teaching him how to move. Man, don't you know Jay-Z wouldn't be seen in the same room with that nigga like Jay-Z ain't talking to Yo Gotti right now, man. You don't know that about Jay-Z. Jay-Z is as sharp as a fucking razor. Jay-Z ain't talking to that nigga right now. You crazy? No. Jay-Z ain't nowhere near that nigga right now, yo. Too much heat. He said, hell nah, he's staying away. Hernandez is gonna bring Gotti down. His daughter was killed in this case also. Need y'all to get the likes up, man. I'm about to get up out of here in a couple minutes. I appreciate y'all for coming through. He said Jay-Z treating that nigga like dog shit on the grass. You take 2 capsules. 2 capsules is 1 dosage. Every day. I take mine in the morning. That's when your testosterone levels are already naturally at its peak. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you got an erection. If you a man and you wake up in the morning, your dick ain't hard, something is wrong with your body and shit. You need to get this up in you. For real, this will clear it up. This will clear it up. This will improve circulation in your body. This will keep you from buying them gas station pills. You know what I mean? This is like a 1-a-day vitamin. You take 2 capsules every day. This is floor support. This is floor support. You need manpower? It's right here. TheRealDribble.com. Every Jake Paul fight is fixed. I ain't got no more to say about it, man. Y'all have a great morning. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure that y'all subscribed. And I posted my new logo last night, man. I'm rebranding everything. Let me know what y'all think of the new logo. It's in my community tab, man. Make sure that y'all follow me on IG at @IamGullyTV_. All right?